So a question came in to me from Jay Caminos, so one of our subscribers, and he was asking about the essence of the chart pattern of Nike. And he was actually asking about the weekly chart and was asking, could it be a very large cup with handle? Now, when we look at and we analyze cup with handles, and based on William O'Neill's definition of a cup with handle, where we're basically looking for a chart pattern that has that U shape and a little bit of a dip, and that there is the cup with handle. And typically that pattern is going to be roughly at least 7 weeks long, and it's going to be roughly about 35% deep, or maximum of 35% deep. From my own experience and what I've seen, what these patterns are really doing, the whole point of these patterns is to really help us understand if a stock is under accumulation or distribution. Are there more buyers or sellers? And as the stock chops around sideways and it forms a cup with handles or pennants or whatever it is, the whole point is to see how the price action is and how it's consolidating, and is it tightening up, and is there going to be a point where either the buyers are going to take over or the sellers are going to take over. That right there, that point, that's what's called the pivotal point. It's something that Jesse Livermore came up with many, many years ago. When we're looking at a stock, and we'll take a closer look at Nike in a moment, when we're analyzing that pattern, we're really looking for the essence of the pattern, and you could look at these patterns and you could see smaller patterns within smaller patterns, and or what I believe Gil Morales and Dr. Katcher referred to as fractals, where you could have a cup with handle pattern that is your standard 7 weeks long, and then if you're looking at it on a daily chart, or if you're looking at it on even an intraday chart, you could find patterns within patterns and then see where you're really going to pinpoint the exact pivot. For me personally, every once in a while I will go down into the minutia and really zero in on that, and sometimes it's very interesting to see, but I feel as though you could add a lot more complexity to the equation by doing that as well, and so we want to be mindful of that. Let's take a look at Nike and see what Jay is seeing in this example. Okay, so here is that weekly chart of Nike, and the charting service that I'm using right now is called TradingView, and I really like TradingView a lot because it's so easy to manipulate these charts and to annotate it and share them with you. What Jay is seeing is this cup with handle over here, where it just draw this big giant U and then that little bit of a handle over here. And actually, let's just change the color so that way there's no confusion between the moving averages. So we have that cup with handle, and when we're working with cups and handles, typically the handle is lower than the peak on the far left side of the handle. And it's the reason why we like to see that is because it's giving us a little bit of an earlier entry point and a little bit tighter of a consolidation. You do have that tightness over here relative to the rest of the pattern, but this handle is slightly above the left side of the pattern, and so this is actually, if we want to get real technical about the verbiage, this is a cup with high handle. And so, like most cups with handles, you see a little bit of a dry up in the volume in the handle, and that again too is relative to the volume in the rest of the pattern. So you see these big volume spikes throughout most of the pattern, and then you still have a couple of big spikes as the handle is forming, but they are significantly less than these other big spikes there. So certainly has the essence of that cup with handle pattern, even though this pattern is going all the way back to November of 2015 through today, which is April of 2018 as of this recording. So quite a bit of time to form this cup with handle. So when I see a pattern like that, it's kind of starting to reinforce that it's this huge consolidation that we are seeing in this pattern. Let's go and dig a little bit deeper and see what's happening right now on a little bit more of a granular scale. So kind of zooming in on this handle part over here, more relative to the more recent uptrend. So over here we have from really October to where we are now, kind of like it. We see as we zoomed out that Nike was trying to find a bottom over here. It has found a bottom, rallied, and then what does this look like relative to this? So it's starting to consolidate it sideways again. The weekly bars are roughly about the same level of volatility just from eyeballing it. But let's take a look at the actual daily chart. It's kind of like it's not much yet. It's almost arguably a flat base in my opinion, even though it did poke its nose above that trend line or that potential resistance level right there, and then fell back below it, and it's still consolidating over here. If we use that low, which kind of rests right around that former low there as well, and you can see that it's trying to tighten up, then it starts to get a little bit wider and looser. So if I'm trying to enter Nike at this point, you could make an argument, well, there is this level over here, and you could play that level, you could play that breakout over there, which would be roughly $67 and around 70 cents, maybe 75 cents, or and use this little resistance level here that's right below this moving average, which is the 100-day moving average. For me personally, I would like to see it tighten up a little bit more if I'm going to do this particular trade. I like to see a progressive tightening in the price, and to see this little bit of getting wider and looser on this side. That's something that I would put in the negative column. So not to say that this pattern wouldn't work or that it's going to end up rolling over. I think that the longer term trend, based on what we're seeing here and the fact that it did start to break out, is showing that yes, it does have the potential to continue to run and move higher. I would just like to see it tighten up a little bit more, and so that's what I'm looking for at this point. Yes, so to circle back, yes, you do have these larger patterns, and it's good to see these larger patterns and then look for smaller patterns within those much larger patterns. And what we really are looking for is the essence of the patterns, and what are these patterns telling us? Are they showing us overall accumulation or distribution in the patterns? Who's going to win the day, the bulls or the bears? Thank you all so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. If you have any questions on anything I said at all, please leave it down in the comment section below and I will personally help you. Also, if you like this video, click that thumbs up button. That's always going to help us out a lot. And make sure that you subscribe to the channel so that way you get every single update. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video. Take care and have a great day.